So there is a chance that Khamzat. I was gonna ask you this a little later in the interview, but so there's a real possibility that Khamzat moves up.
You
That's
know,
something that he's really looking forward.
it 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 depends on, because let's say if we have to defend the title, defend the belt, or fight for another belt, in the end of the day, there's a hard work to do. You know,
And the opportunity there, if there's an opportunity to get a second belt, why should he say no?
exactly.
People are criticizing that, but if
They
one
say
thing
whatever
it
they
needs
want.
to be very clear,
There
it's
have
easy
been
to
champions that move up to division without defending.
exactly.
Also,
And
UFC
it's
system
easy
was
to criticize when you say, well, he didn't defend his belt and now he wants to move up. It's not about him. Like the UFC will offer the fight. Why is he gonna say no?
yeah, exactly. So if
Right?
they offer, of course
He's not the one
he
he's
would
not
say
the one
yes.
making the calls, people. Like like
Exactly.
if the
Imagine
UFC,
that.
hey, do you want to fight for a second belt? He's gonna say, no. First I gotta defend my belt. Come
No way.
on, that's not gonna
No way. And I guarantee nobody would say no to that
no
opportunity.
one. No
In
one.
Hamza's
I agree with
position,
that.
no one would say. So that is a possibility if, of course, if it's for a belt. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I know the kind of the type of guy that I work with, and he would say yes right now. You know, he would
Tomorrow, let's
say
go.
yes
I'm ready.
right now. Yeah. You know. So I believe that the UFC gonna wait until the fight between Strickland and Fluffy next week happen, and then they maybe 1 week after that they're gonna start actually make things happen according to what will be the next step for Hamza, and to both divisions.
Exactly. Because we have
So
Alex too. We need to figure out what's gonna happen with Alex Pereira first, right?
I mean, for Alex, I would say, like, let's see. Look, not just because I'm a Hamza's team, but if I would look at the situation from Hamza's side, you know, Hamza versus Pereira, it would be the fight that would sell the most, and Hamza would be fighting for another belt. For Hamza, it's plus, 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 plus. It's great, you know? And he's moving up to another division, you know, people can question. He can take out probably part of the pressure on his shoulder, you know, but he's not the kind of guy that's gonna come up with excuses in case things don't go his way. But probably he would be fighting even more relaxed. It would if he would move up. This is me having the vision by Hamza's side. If I would be him, so if I would be Pereira, I would never accept that fight because let's be honest, okay? Uh, Hamzat, it would be the challenger. Pereira would have to defend, but Pereira already have two belts, and we have the opportunity now to accomplish something that nobody ever done before in the history of the UFC: win the third belt in the third division. If I would be Pereira, the same as it's great for Hamza to try a second belt, for Pereira it's amazing to try the third.
Exactly.
If I would be Pereira, I would say, Hamza, ciao. I have bigger goals. I go for the third belt.
Exactly.
So, but could that fight happen? Yes. Now we come to another imagine another scenario.
And let me throw another scenario right there from Glover Teixeira interview and then Daniel Cormier comment on it. Glover said, "Look, people, it's not going to be as easy as you guys think. Alex has good defense. It's not like that." And then Cormier actually adds to the conversation, saying, "At some point, the weight difference and power and strength and explore it has to make a difference, right? Like in some point in this game, because he was talking, I think, specific against Khamzat challenging Pereira,
Yeah.
and which he does a great job promoting himself on that because everybody talks about it. And then Cormier goes like, I say, hey, time out here, dude. It's like you were a welterweight. Now you want to come all the way to light heavyweight and saying you're gonna destroyed the champion like that. They say at some point the size difference matters. Like, how do you think about all of that?
You know, I think Cormier is right in some point, but also Hamza wouldn't fight in light heavyweight without build himself into light heavyweight. You understand? So there is a process, there is a journey that he would have to go through to get into that division and try to don't lose as much as his speed, be able to adapt the game that he play for that weight class, build his strength to deal with different body type of guys. So it's a whole journey. It's a whole hard work that need to be built and done before we even think about it. Do we have time? Yes. But as soon as we know if that would happen, and then we would work towards this. But Cormier is right on that in part of it. But I think that Hamza would build himself into the division
Is that what people don't understand? That it comes with a cost, right? Like, how much weight can you put on without losing?
without losing. Yeah,
What I think Khamzat has that's most special, which is the explosion and all that the being so aggressive, right? Like, we did a breakdown of his Duplessis fight. He
Yeah.
shoots he shoots like in a straight line, and as he's doing the body lock, he moves his right leg, and then he changes direction in the fucking air. It's like it's the same takedown going to the. It's. I mean, how, like,
things
I don't
that
want to see him like we saw John Jones, a heavyweight. You could see he was slow and like he tries to strike and he was all sloppy, like I like what you're saying. It's perfect.
Yeah, because I mean we have to respect also the division, because the reactions in light heavyweight, the kind of MMA that the athletes, bring to the table in the light heavyweight is different than in the heavyweight, is different
Yeah.
than the lightweight, is different than the
We
medium.
just saw that with Jailton Almeida, right? Like,
Yeah.
you're talking about an explosive guy, a very talented guy that sometimes he was just not big enough. Like we just saw this last fight, try to take down a bigger guy a couple of times, couldn't do it, lost the
Yeah.
fight.
So that is a thing that people sometimes forget about it, but we know the responsibility that comes in case that this opportunity would come. That is also, it comes with a bill to pay,
It's
It doesn't